So I want to talk about community governance. So how our community has started, how it has evolved, what we have learned from there, and what are the steps we are taking now at this moment. So first, our vision. What we want, why do we want to have a community? So our vision is very similar to this canonical Ubuntu relationship. So Zentyal has a company which is sponsoring the project, but the project should be community-led, which means it's not a company that decides what are how the decisions are taken, the rules to join in, the rules to gain status and to influence the project are public and anybody can access there without a company managing that. However, implementing this vision is, I can tell you, is not something easy. First, let's see let's see the numbers. So this is the evolution of the number of posts in the forum since we started. As you can see, there are several peaks that came always when we launched a new version. So we launched a new version, and naturally there are many more people asking, and there's much more interaction in the forum. And our starting numbers are very, very small, and they're little by little growing. Here they grow a lot, then they grow much more here, but here they start growing down and down. And this is because here we had time to be on the forum by ourselves. We could answer the questions, we could give support, but at this moment we start being too much overwhelmed with work. We have customers, we have more development to do, and well, the number of posts is starting to be too much to handle by ourselves. So we start having complaints of people that they don't receive any replies, and that they're saying that our community is dead, our forum is dead, and things like that. So we decided something must be done. We cannot continue like this. We cannot do it all by ourselves. It's great to have people using our product and giving us feedback and letting us know about the bugs they find, but there's something else we can do, something else we have to do. And by this time, we decide, okay, let's open the forum administration to other people. Let's try to find people who can help in supporting the other users. And that's when we define the profile of a forum moderator. So a forum member who has administration rights in the forum, who can say, this post goes here, this post is spam, this user is not behaving too well, and things like that. And we grant these forum moderators direct access to the developers and priority in replying their messages, access to a private board so that we can discuss these kind of matters that cannot be in public at any time. And, well, the results come a few months later. You see that we have almost multiplied by 2 the number of posts in our community. So we have found that forum moderators, once you give power to people, people respond. So that was our first big step in creating a real community, in applying our vision, and the first success story that in which we have based the next steps. But what have we learned from this? The first, probably we were too naive at the beginning, although we had worked with several communities. Some of our developers were official developers in Debian or contributors in other projects. But, well, it's very different to cooperate in a community that already works than to create your own community. So the first is that communities, they do not self-generate. You have to be very proactive in order to make it happen. So there are different levels of forum members. You cannot expect the same for each one of them. So from the forum members, because, well, we use the forum as the main base of community interaction, 1% of them can potentially become part of the core team. Then 9% of them can be occasional contributors. 90% of them, the just forum members, ask the questions and they don't do anything else, which I think it's already a contribution by itself, and you have to value it like that. But anyway, they're not going to do much more than that, than solving their own problems. And 900% of our users, they are silent. They don't come to a forum. Well, they come to a forum, they read, but even if they don't solve their question, they will not ask again. So this is just a rule of thumb. Don't take this as a theorem that has to be exact. So once you know this distribution of your users and of your community, then you can focus to the 1% who can be a core members and who can actually track the community. Also, this is a give and take relationship. If somebody comes to contribute, he has to receive something back. Otherwise, it's just, well, they will be a bit naive, fool, stupid, however you want to call it. But they need to receive something back. And the three things we have found that anybody who wants to be a contributor, first they need to have a status, different status in the community. You cannot give them the same status as a normal user. So forum moderator is somebody already with a different status. And if we want to give more responsibilities, we have to find other titles. Power, which means that they can do something else than something that the rest cannot do. For example, forum moderators, they can administer the forum. So they have these rights, and we have given these rights to them. We are not getting all the power by ourselves. So once you are ready to give power to others, then you are actually starting to create a community. And then also influence. I mean, forum moderators, they have the direct access to the developers. They are the people we listen the most. So if there's a post in the private forum moderators board, then we take that into account directly. So probably the best way to convince us to do something is through a forum moderator at this moment. Also, leadership. The community needs a leadership. People expect that we lead the community. If we are not there, it's very difficult for the community as an entity to get organized by itself and get another leader. So we have assumed this responsibility, and we have been starting working on creating what is a community council, and well, based on actually on Ubuntu model. And we also had a discussion in the open forum about is it needed to have a self-appointed benevolent dictator for life? Yes, I must to say. And the conclusion was yes, that it shouldn't be needed, but it's good to have it. Just in case we got stuck in some discussion, there can be somebody who moves forward, who can help the community to move forward, to unblock itself. So I self-appointed myself benevolent dictator. So you can applaud me. But anyway, the idea is that the main decisions are taken in a community council. So the idea is that all these 1% of the core contributors can actually take a big influence in how the project is evolving. And so all the main decisions are taken there. Everybody who has some particular status in the community can actually contribute here. So we are now building the 3 teams that we think are necessary at this moment. We don't want to create teams that are empty. We don't want to create teams that are actually senseless. Only those teams that actually have a goal at this moment, a responsibility, and a person behind them who can actually track them. So forum moderators is already a team that is working very well. Thanks to the forum moderators, we can say that we have a community. So the next we are going to build is a bug squad. We will need to, as Christoph mentioned, we need to mentor them. We need to train them. We need to show them. But the idea is that the bug squad, they can help releasing a lot of work from Jos. He's actually filtering the bugs, making sure that there are not duplicate bugs, making sure that they are all well documented, making sure that they are real bugs and not features that are badly understood, and all that kind of filtering that can be done little by little by a bunch of people that can save us a lot of time. And that time can be invested in development. Then also localization and documentation. On the starters, we're going to have it as a single team. Let's see if we need to separate it. But Rob mentioned it. We had also a discussion, I think it was in May, June, we started with this discussion. Should we split the community or would it be good? The results show that it is good. Now the discussion is, should we go a step further and actually create the Dutch community itself with its own domain, its own wiki, its own forum and all that. So this is a discussion we're having at the moment. We'll continue with that, but anyway, we need somebody leading this team, and the team already has some purpose. And finally, the desktop. As you have seen, we are going to put a lot of stress on the desktop integration. We need people who can help us defining what are the features, what are the use cases that we need to solve. Not necessarily developers, because developing this desktop is something very big, something that you need invest a lot of effort to learn that. And we assume that we are the ones who have to continue developing this. But there's a lot of help that can be provided in defining which features, how it has to look like, and then making sure that we are all understanding each other, making sure that what our developers are making is actually what is solving these use cases, and so on. It's more or less like a system analyst role that can be done part-time, can be done in a team, and can help the Zentyal project go in the best direction. So what do you think? Does it sound reasonable? Yeah. And finally, the community council. The idea is to put all the team members, because at this moment there's not going to be many people. I think we're going to be around 10, maybe a dozen. So handling this is not a problem. Maybe if at some point we see that it is growing a lot, then we will separate, but not in the beginning. At the beginning, we have to keep it simple, because defining rules that on paper work very well, then in practice probably show to be too complex. So let's try to make it simple, make it quick, make it efficient, and we will scale. So that's the plan for the community governance, how we are organizing ourselves. It's really exciting. It's really promising. And the idea is also one that Christoph mentioned, that is based on meritocracy. So anybody can actually grow from an apprentice, a new member on the forum, actually to become a Zen hero, like some of the forum moderators are already in this level. In case you are wondering, these are just some sketches a local artist designed for our different levels in the forum. We're even considering adopting it as a mascot. It looks Zen, it looks fluffy, looks good. But anyway, we will decide about it. And now, as a surprise, because it was not in the program, well, first, do you have any questions according to this? You're all thinking about beer. I can see it in your faces. Beer, tapas, well, alcohol in general, I know. Okay, let's move forward. So as a surprise, we're going to give some awards. This is the first time we do it, and if you're happy with it, we will continue every year. But we have been receiving a lot of support from different people, from the community in general, which, well, we think the community more as an ecosystem. There are forum members, contributors, but there are also partners, there are also customers who are helping a lot in moving forward the project, making it better, and making Linux as a reality in the SMBs. So we have prepared a small gift to give to those that we consider that have been the best during this year and the past years also. So should we go? Has been difficult to choose who was the best community member of the year, and actually, although we had many names, we have come to two community members. So one of them, although he seems to be God, because he managed to be everywhere in the forum, he couldn't make it today. Yeah, you guessed. So the first community member of the year is for Christian. So can I have some help from somebody? So this is the gift we have prepared. It is handmade by a local artist, a different one than the one who draw it. So it's a very limited edition. So Christian, I hope you are watching us. We'll send it to you by email. And this is the award, the more official award, the Z from Zentyal and from Zaragoza and from the Zorro. See? Yeah. Okay. We have another community member of the year who is actually here in this room. He has been actually very active in the last months. Well, actually, since quite lots of time ago. But he has been a great asset in moving the community forward. Not only he's a forum member, forum moderator. So Rob, maybe you can stand up and come. Rob has been a really great asset in making it reality in the the local Dutch community.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
And he has offered himself to be leading the desktop team. So let's hope he doesn't get upset with us too fast.
I think that will find its way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. So the partner of the year, Alex from Aitire. So I already mentioned this when I introduced him, but he was the first partner we signed with. He has been a very, very valuable asset in defining and improving all our commercial offering, and well, he's there anytime we need him. So this is something that is not very common in a community awards, but we think that customers help also very well. So corporate contributor of the year goes for Los Enlaces. So they have been, they have been actually the ones guilty for us having an essential academy program, the training academy program. They have helped us a lot in improving our training materials and actually getting to train the future system administrators. And last but not least, another corporate contributor of the year, the city of Limerick, because you have been very patient with us, and you have helped us a lot in really making Zentyal corporate ready.
Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, Limerick is the one guilty for us integrating Zaragoza. And that was probably one of the best decisions we took in the 2.0 version. Also, you have helped a lot in proving the concept and improving our processes of migrating from Windows servers to Zentyal. So thank you very much. Okay, thank you, everybody. This was all for the presentations. Now, according to the plan, you have 2 hours for rest in the hotel if you want. And, well, we are going to gather at 8 in the center. I think you have some map on the place. The idea is to go to have some tapas, typical tapas. We will show you the best places. And at 10, we have a party with a live concert, a band from New Zealand who has flown all the way to Zaragoza to play for Zentyal. Well, for the release, it was Iron Maiden. It's going to be Someone similar, but from the other part of the world. Well, it's not heavy metal anymore, sorry. Anyway, if you cannot make it for tonight, tomorrow at 10 in the morning, we'll be continuing with the summit, this time with the technical training seminars. It's not going to be in this building. It's going to be in another building, which is also very close, in the Digital Water Pavilion. You will recognize it. You will have curtains of water showing the logo of Zentyal and stuff like that. Okay, but anyway, I hope I can see you, everybody, for the tapas. So we meet at 8, hopefully. Okay, thank you.